Now, you might be saying to yourself, Ryan, that is not a hot toy. That is not a 6-scale figure. That is not a statue. That is not a freaking comic book. That is it's a Marvel Legend. That's right, guys. I've got Marvel Legends, Hydra Stomper, and Captain Carter here today. And I've had the Hydra Stomper for a few weeks now, and I've been waiting on Captain Carter because I couldn't find one. And shout out to Kent for actually finding the Hydra Stomper and also finding me a Captain Carter. So thanks, Kent. Appreciate him. Check out his YouTube channel in the description below if you like Marvel Legend related content. I think he's got like 2,000 of them or some kind of insane number of things. But I did pick this up because with the Hot Toys Hydra Stomper is going to be a good minute before it shows up, and I thought this would be a good representation in the meantime, as we wait on that. So a couple of things. You saw the unboxing. It was very quick. There's not a whole lot going on here. Hydra Stomper has 2 hands. He's got a jetpack. That's pretty much it. There's a lot of plastic on this guy. He's heavy. He definitely has that animated look. No weathering going on whatsoever. Definitely straight out of the animated look. But I think the details are actually quite good for what it is. However, I think I'm going to weather this one up. Or I'm going to find a second one and weather that one up with some battle damage and stuff. It screams to be like customed, you know what I mean? So maybe we'll do a video on customizing this if you guys would be interested in doing that. I don't think it would be all that difficult to do. Somebody might be interested. I don't know. But let's talk about the Hydra Stomper here as we have both of these figures kind of rotate around. I got to be honest with you guys. The Captain Carter, you can see it right here, just looks fantastic. And I can't wait for the Hot Toys version. All right, so on the actual Hydra Stomper, all these little rungs that Steve would climb up, those are all little rubbery bits. They kind of just are, I don't say flimsy, but they're maneuverable is the word I guess I'm going for, including that antenna. So I don't think you're going to break it. So that's pretty cool. I love the little light up eyes that don't actually light up. The arc reactor on the chest, again, doesn't light up. It's Marvel Legend. But I think it looks quite fantastic. It is very heavy for a Marvel Legend piece, as you might imagine. And it's got this cool jetpack on the back, which does have a little bit of articulation on it if you want to mess with that. One thing to note on the knees, on the feet in general, not the easiest figure to keep standing. So on the hip, if you're used to like a normal thigh swivel, if you will, or ball joint there at the hip, this does not have that. So getting the thigh to twist to be able to get some balance out of this figure is a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult. The knees are ratcheted, and they are large ratchets. So it's not like you can get a little bit of bend. You either get a lot of bend or you get pretty much no bend. I mean, I guess it's just one of those things you got to work with. You can see the gap in there. It's quite significant. You're going to get about 90 degrees out of the knees. And then down at the feet, a little bit of maneuverability front and back, side to side, not so much. Not so much. So not a whole lot of range of motion there. You're going to get a 90 degree bend out of the elbows, and the head's on a ball joint, so it moves around. The torso is, again, on the ball joint, so you can get some twist out of there. And we'll do some more poses, but I just kind of wanted to showcase that real quick for those who might be interested. Great detail, honestly. I really do like the detail on the Hydra Stomper in general. Left arm's just kind of doing this thing, bulked up, and then the right arm he's actually got, I believe, a flamethrower, if I remember correctly, and some guns from that episode. Actually, I say episodes. It's awesome. But going on to Captain Carter, she looks fantastic. She's not going to have any posability issues, I don't think. Nice split cut boot there, double bend pretty much everywhere. And the colors as paired up with the Hydra Stomper here, I mean, you guys can see it for yourself on the screen. I think these are super cool. So that being said, I think what we ought to do is try to do some poses with it. We'll see what we can do. Hydra Stomper is going to be kind of clumsy. He does have a switch out hands for a fist if you want to do that. And it has those blast effects, which look ridiculous in my opinion. So we probably won't even bother with those. But let's do another pose and see what we come up with. All right, can I be honest with you guys? The Hydra Stomper is a complete pain in the butt to pose. Oh my God. The feet, the ankle articulation, there's a little bit of pivot left and right and a little bit front and back, but good God, the actual weight of this thing, it fell over like a lot of times. I don't even know, but it's very frustrating. Captain Carter, on the other hand, perfect. No issues posing the figure. Like it's just great. So I'm a big fan of that. And the color, they looked fantastic on the shelf, but good gracious, that Hydra Stomper is a pain to pose. Woo, man. But it does look good, I think, for the best I could do. I got a little bit thigh swivel out of this thing, but I had to work it pretty good. It probably should just heat it up and go from there. But it does look good, I think. As far as Captain Carter goes, we'll kind of zoom this back up. As far as Captain Carter goes, the shield, I found it easier just to pull one hand off, put the shield on, put the hand back on. That was just easier for me. You probably, if I heated it up, wouldn't have to do that. But she's kind of deflecting some rounds from Hydra. And I do have a Hydra Trooper. I think it's an MCU figure. I don't even know, but I think it's an MCU Hydra figure. We'll break that out and do some fighting and whatnot. But I just kind of want to talk about the range of motion on this guy. The Hydra Stomper mainly. The torso, plenty of range of motion. Like none, you can see right there. I've got it twisted pretty good. I mean, it's pretty, almost like it's like a 75-degree bend there, and it's on a ball joint, so it'd go more. There's a cover around the waist. I guess you can call it like a belt almost, I guess, around there, and that kind of covers up that torso gap, and that's fine. It definitely needs some weathering though, man. It screams, that's the piece I'm like, it screams for some weathering. So I think we're probably going to have to do that. You let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see that. We'll do one more pose because honestly, this Hydra Stomper is a complete nightmare to pose. But overall, because we have to wait so long to get our Hot Toys version, these are actually pretty good, other than the tendency to fall over. So that's kind of annoying. All right, guys, so we have the Hydra Stomper with Captain Carter on the top. And who's hanging down below other than Hydra Trooper? I think this is a pretty cool display. So I broke out my Midas Hot Toys display because I felt it was strong enough to hold up the Hydra Stomper, and it certainly is. And it actually looks pretty cool. I may just leave it displayed just like this, and I may have to acquire some more Hydra Troopers from my buddy Kent. But this is actually a lot of fun. The blast effects, not a big fan of those. Honestly, they take away from the figure, in my opinion. They just. I don't know, it's just not a thing. But we do have Captain Carter riding on top of the Hydra Stomper up there. She goes up there fairly easily. I don't think that's much of an issue. There's no balancing issues that I've run into. I wish, and I do know it's the limitation of the head sculpt, the hair absolutely limits the range of motion looking up and down, but we've seen that before with 6CL figures, so that's not really much of a shocker. We've got our Hydra guy hanging down here for dear life. So I'm thinking he was on there trying to climb up to get Captain Carter, and then things didn't go so well for him, and he's literally hanging on one of those steps, I guess you would call it, that Steve would be getting onto and climbing into the troop or the Hydra Stomper. But I think that's pretty cool. I don't hate it. You guys can let me know. I don't claim to be a Marvel Legends posing expert, but I do like creating dynamic scenes with figures, and I think this actually works pretty well. And I may just leave it just like this and get some more Hydra Stompers, like I said earlier. Might have some fun with this thing. So I think it's super cool. Now, as far as scale-wise for this thing, I think it scaled well with with Captain Carter. I don't plan on getting the rest of the What If line. Honestly, these are the two I wanted. I wish we would, and maybe one day we will, get the Steve Rogers that goes with this Hydra Stomper. I don't know why we don't already have that. That should have just made it a 2-pack, and that would have been it. But they didn't. So, here's hoping that Hasbro will actually listen to us and make that happen, because I think that would be super awesome. As far as the weathering goes, I got to weather it up, guys. There's no way I can leave it just like this. I just can't do it. So should I weather this one up, or should I buy a second one and weather that one up? We'll have to see how that plays out. And let me know your thoughts on this particular pose. So I'm pretty stoked with this. This will definitely do. And in the meantime, while we went on our Hot Toys Hydra Stomper, I think it's just super cool. And I love the Hydra Trooper hanging off of the Hydra Stomper. I just think that's just poetic, in my opinion. Captain Carter with those colors looking fantastic. Cannot wait till we get that 6-scale figure of Captain Carter. Look at that. Look at that guy. He's just like, what's up? He's literally hanging on there by his hand. So maybe that gave you an idea. If you have an awesome Hydra Stomper pose, or some ideas for this, let me know in the Facebook group. Join that today. Jedha Patrol. Link in the description below. As always, click what you like. We'll see you next time.